Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Infinite Series Build-A-Figure Ultron Wave. We're having a look today at Giant Man. Wanted to get a look at Giant Man first because Ant-Man technically has the head. I kind of want to maybe do him last. But because Giant Man has one of the legs for Ultron, I figured I wanted to have a look at him next. Aside from the leg, Giant Man, as with most other Marvel Legends, doesn't really come with any other accessory, but that's okay. At least it comes with the leg, and in the process, we're going to be a little bit closer to putting together Ultron. The back of the package features the other 6 figures available in this set, with a read-up saying, from 60-foot Goliath to insect-sized hero, Henry Pym has unlocked power that will change the world. That read-up is also featured in a couple of other different languages as well. And down below, another image of what Ultron will look like when we have him put together. Now, this is a movie-inspired Ultron, by the look of him. But unfortunately, none of the figures in this set are movie tie-in figures. None of them. I almost would have hoped... I know we got a Diamond Select Ant-Man, but I kind of would have hoped that we could have got a movie Ant-Man in there as well. Or a Yellow Jacket or something, you know, movie tie-in wise. At any rate... Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up, but when we come back, we're going to get a better look at Giant Man. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. For Giant Man's one limb for Ultron, he comes with the foot. Let's go ahead and reach off camera to the torso that we've already got from Wasp here. We'll just attach the leg. Sometimes a little difficult, but that kind of gives you enough idea as to how tall Ultron's going to be. Factoring, of course, another head on top of that. Yeah, he's going to be a good-sized figure. Doesn't look like much, yes. No, not right now, he doesn't. But don't worry, we will add on to him. Put him to the side. Let's have a look at Giant Man. Which, sadly, when you get him out of packaging, his little antenna get a little on the squishier side. You take him out of the package, you kind of have to adjust these just a little bit when you get him out. I also got a little bit of glue, it seems, where the antennas were attached to his head. That's a bit of a shame. Not one that you notice really too much from a distance, but when you kind of see it up close, there's a little bit of residue there left. Also little areas where the black wasn't completely painted in. But again, from a distance, you may not even see that. I like the figure, although it just... One problem with the figure, and it's nothing really against the figure, but it's just the fact that after a while, you see so many torsos. And, you know, DC Universe also became problematic after this. It was nothing really wrong with the figures, but after a while, you can only see so many of the same mold where you're like, I wish they'd do something different. I wouldn't say that Giant Man warrants getting a different mold, but mixing it up a little bit from time to time would have been nice. Just giving us something a little more of a variety, you know, if that makes any sense. In fact, Giant Man, I almost feel like maybe he could have had I think he did have his own Build-A-Figure at one point, but I don't know. Maybe the mold is just what's killing it for me, because the rest of it is pretty good. Although I will say areas on the figure don't quite match up. Areas like the arms are a lighter red than the torso and the shoulders. It's also darker in the top cut of the leg, but then the lower leg is that same light color as the arms. It's a little jarring. It is something you probably will notice, especially now that I've mentioned it. You're very welcome. Some of the black detailing on here is nice. No real messing here. A little messy around the top where the thigh connects to the lower torso, but you're really not going to see it all that much. There's the back of it. A peg would have been used for another character. Obviously for Giant Man, he just ends up having a hole in his back. It's a good figure. I mean, it still has the wobble issue. I don't know if other people have noticed this, but a lot of Marvel Legends, the newer ones, you can kind of wobble them where they're connected. I guess it's really the leg area. It feels a little on the wobbly side. The joints are stiff. That's good, because there's nothing more disappointing than getting a figure out of the package and it's extremely loose. Giant Man doesn't have that. So props to Giant Man. Although, again, just wish he had maybe a different mold. Maybe Spot's suffering a little bit from mold syndrome, where after a while it's too much of the same thing over and over again. A good paint, yes. Good details. Even the face is really good. But I kind of wish that maybe he had gotten a departure from the common everyday mold that we've been getting over and over and over again. No real complaints to this. This is presented well, but maybe it's just time to kind of mix it up a little bit, Hasbro. Give us a couple of different bodies, different molds from time to time, just to break up the mundane. When it comes to posability on Giant Man, his head does rotate. I don't think you really have to worry too much about the antennas, other than just squishing them. But his head does rotate. It also hinges up and down. Shoulders hinge out. This one arm is really stiff on Giant Man here. Arms rotate out, as well as you can rotate them all the way around. And it's weird, when you rotate them, you get like these little clicky, ratcheted kind of noises. It's a swivel point at the bicep area, a double hinged elbow. He has a hinge and rotation in the hand. He has an upper torso crunch, so it gives you some extra possibilities, although you may not necessarily pose him like this. Although I guess you really could. If he was tall enough, you could kind of have him look as if he's imposing over the rest of the group. Although because he is using a same body mold, he doesn't really look as imposing as maybe he should. He has a waist swivel, although it's really stiff on this figure. Ball joint legs, a top cut swivel on the thigh, double hinge knee, swivel cut on the top of the boot, and a hinge in the bottom of the foot there, or where the foot ankle connects to the rest of the leg. I don't mean really to speak so ill of Giant Man. Really, he's got the makings of a great figure. I think this could have been a good example where they could have given us just a slightly bit taller figure, because ultimately figures such as like Sabretooth, maybe even Toxin, maybe the upcoming Venom, are all using that one squat little body that I'm not super crazy about, that I think Hasbro could look the route of maybe introducing yet another body mold. One that's not overly stocky, one that's a little bit taller, and I think Giant Man could have been a good contender for using a new body mold. Figure's good, just feel like he could have been looking a little bit better with a better body sculpt. Today's Toy Spot, we were continuing our looks at the Ultron Build-A-Figure wave. We were looking today at Giant Man. Not so giant, but still pretty cool. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more Toy Spots heading your way. Of course, we're going to have a look at the other Ultron figure reviews. Those are heading your way as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.